Good afternoon, Rosemary.
Good afternoon, Carol. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing really well. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you here with me and doing this
Yeah,
our monthly reading for our community. And this month we're going to be exploring self-expression. And we had some really beautiful insights in the spread that you created a few weeks back. And
thank you.
it's an interesting topic because I think
Yes,
it kind of reveals the truth of who we are.
I agree. I agree. And there are so many people who have tamped down their self-expression, or they think that self-expression is only for people who are creative, like artists. Everybody's an artist in their own right, in their own way. So yeah, this was a fun spread, a fun week to do the spread. It was really interesting.
So, um, this is some of the cards that we are going to be using. We have seven different decks. So I'm Carole Frank. I'm an integrative metaphysical practitioner. So I'm trained in a various range of modalities and hold a few certifications. And I'm also a creative consultant. I'm really guided. Um, Whoops, my phone made noise. Sorry, forgot to turn it
I
off.
didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. So
Well, I thought I had to turn it off completely. So let's do that. Sorry about that. So I feel like I found my self-expression voice by creating tools to empower people and to really step into their potential. Um, so that's kind of, I feel that's kind of my purpose. And then I'll host private and group sessions, and hopefully in a nurturing space and environment to for conscious evolution and conscious creation. And also do past life card readings and healing sessions and all that good stuff. And now we go on to Rosemary.
I'm Rosemary, Nevada. I'm a psychic medium. I love connecting with all manner of beings, a whole spectrum. Four-legged, two-legged, in their skins, out of their skins. It doesn't matter whether I'm doing a reading with somebody that's not in their skin anymore, the two-legged or four-legged, or if I'm doing a reading with somebody that's still in their skin that's a two-legged or a four-legged. It's what I love to do. I do direct readings, and I like to use divination systems. My favorites are cards, of course, oracle decks, our oracle decks specifically, and then I have a few favorite authors as well, and tarot decks. I like to do energy work. As a matter of fact, I've been really busy with energy work lately. I prefer to do it remotely because there aren't any distractions. I find it to be way more potent.
Right.
Uh, and I do space clearing. Um, it's I think I have the best gig in the world. In my self-expression, I was a teacher for 40 years with little kids, which was really, really fun. And when I stepped away from that, uh, form of self-expression that was sort of closeted because of fundamentalist belief systems and things like that are my gifts as a psychic. So now I use those to be of service. I was of service as a teacher for 40 years, and then the remainder of my life I will be of service by using my gifts to help people find their way.
And I know of you not only taught school but also taught flamenco dancing. You also
Oh
used to
yeah, I've
be
done
a
a lot of stuff.
weaver. You've written a
Yes.
book, so that you've had many means of self-expression. For me, I think my back because of my background with culinary, so it's been more of the cooking and the
Mm.
creativity within the cooking and like don't ask me to follow a recipe, it's not going to happen.
Well, the best cooks are the ones who don't follow recipes, who are creative. And I mean, your jams that you add herbs to, oh my gosh, that's so creative.
Now it's I always joke around. I said that I used to nourish the stomach. No, I nourish the soul. So now it's
Yes,
more of
with
a less calories with the art,
you
with the
have a
cards.
you have a calorie-free oven.
So our we're going to be introducing our 7 day spread, and these are art decks, and we're going to be using uh, two decks from an author that it's Tony Carmine Salerno, and then Sandra Ann
Hmm.
Taylor. Those are the other decks that we're going to be using.
Right.
So the topic is self-expression for this month, and the first question that we ask to on the topic of self-expression is how can I express the fullness of my being? And I'm going to let you the floor because I got to do the next two cards together. So
Right.
you're going to be starting, and then I'll just hold the deck here, and then
Okay,
this is
yeah, this is from Sandra Ann Taylor's deck. She's got several decks out. This is her past life energy deck, and the card is called Expressive Talents. And it just shows a workspace, and it looks like it might be the workspace for somebody that's a writer. And at the bottom it says creativity and art. So I can't remember which part of the reading that I used for this. Um,
you did
I think I did the karmic
the karmic
shift, didn't I?
shift.
The
Yes,
karmic shift, because I thought that
yes.
was so beautiful. She has this great guidebook for this particular deck, and it has an overall general, and then it has karmic shift and an affirmation. So there's a lot to pick from in this book, and the karmic shift I think was really beautiful. If you long to experience the beauty of your creative voice and vision, now is the time. So that's what this card was shared for that reason. It's time to really show your vision and your voice. And that doesn't mean you have to be a singer, you have to be a photographer or a painter. It's just your way of seeing things and your way of expressing things. So I thought it was perfect. You don't have to leave the routine of your daily life behind and run off to live in an art commune. I thought that was hilarious. Just look at within, and the brilliant flame of divine light will guide your path. Play with different forms of creative expression until you find the ones that resonate most with you, your heart, and your eternal history. And it says, acknowledge the beauty. I can't read this, it's too small. Can you read it? Do you have the
Sure,
book open?
it's the affirmation. It's
Yeah, the affirmation.
I acknowledge the beauty, music, and poetry within. In every sweet expression, I sing the songs of my eternal soul.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's in smaller print and it's in italics and it's impossible to read with the glasses that I have on. So I thought this was such a beautiful card regarding expressive talents because it's inclusive. It's so inclusive. And it comes from, it reminds us that it comes, our abilities to express come a lot from karmic and past life things.
Well,
Or ability, yeah. Go
it's
ahead.
also interesting, like for me, from what I remember in our family, it's kind of like my a few of my family members, like my uncle and my dad, they were artists in some ways, but it was never prioritized or recognized. So it was kind of like, you have to be just doing something more. My grandfather was a sculptor, but wood sculptor, Italian, and so they inherited some of those traits, but they were not nurtured. And different of the generation is it's kind of like you got to tame it, or you got to stifle it, or you can't show it. It's something in private. Like my grandmother never really shared. She also drew flowers and painted flowers and things like that, but never really shared her gift with us. It was kind of, oh, just showing her us 2 seconds. Oh, I did that, and that's it, but never really nurtured and or showed us how to do it, or so it was almost like uh, a hidden part of themselves that was never allowed to be nurtured.
Yeah. When you have that whole survival thing going on and you have to find a way to support something that's creative and artistic, what's that phrase about starving artists?
Mm,
So you're really not encouraged, you're not nurtured to follow your any artistic gifts as a means of support because you don't want to starve. And so it's like, just put that's a hobby, put it away. You're not going to make any money off of that. Just leave it alone and find something else to do that you're going to be able to support yourself with. And then if you have time, that can be your hobby. If you have time, you're not too busy working and surviving, then that can be your hobby.
right. But I think it's a detriment because um like I can see myself with when I do the artwork, I become into it's like a meditation. It's like I'm in that trance space which really nourishes my soul. So, being disconnected from that can really uh bring in a lot of just a misalignment or a lack of appreciation for who we are because we're not seeing that part of us because we're not allowing it to show up. So I think it's
Exactly.
it's hurting us.
Well, and self-expression is associated with the right brain, which is the our creative brain, creative side of the brain. It's also the feminine side of the brain, and it's also the intuitive side of the brain. So anytime you engage in any kind of creativity, no matter what it is, you connect with that right brain, and that connects with your higher self and with source and with spirit. And that's why when you go into doing whatever it is that you creatively express yourself with, you go into the zone, you get into this place where it transcends everything else. And that could be gardening, that could be throwing a football, that could be playing golf, that could be cooking, that could be, it could be doing anything that you express yourself through that hooks into that creative side of your brain, that right brain that hooks into your intuition and all the consciousness above that.
Nice. So
You have the next two cards right there, the
yes,
heart-shaped cards. I love those
yes. So
heart-shaped cards.
so this one I haven't used his card for a while. So this is from the next deck. Uh So there's no name on the card, so I kind of named it, and then I had handwritten a number on each card for me
Oh, right. So you could, yeah.
it was just my system when I was working with the cards. It was just a
Uh-huh.
way to refer back quickly to the card. Otherwise, I didn't have quite the identification system.
Hmm.
So this is the card that was pulled. And the message here is you're afraid to let go of something that is no longer working for you. There's a deep sense of duty or guilt, and you feel like you don't have a choice. The reality is that you do, and ultimately doing what you know feels right in your heart will be best for all concerns. So this is the message. And the question was, how can I dissolve fear that limits my self-expression? So it's really
Hmm.
about learning to let go of what, like it said, the guilt and the sense of duty that takes away from that creative side of us. So um, we don't think we may have a choice by suppressing it. Let me just close my door because the dog just walked in.
I was going
Um,
to ask, I was going to say, is that Sage your dog, or is that a one of the visitors that I work with that are unseen?
so it's the self-expression brings it back to the heart center. What does feed your heart? What does feed your soul?
Mhm.
So anytime we we have fear to self-express, we're limiting ourselves. We're confining, we're
Exactly.
constricting our space. We're not showing up fully as who we are.
Exactly. And do you have a second one from him?
Yes, so the next card is, I guess my finger pulled it quickly.
Mm.
So the card is healing, and this one is from the Universal Wisdom Oracle cards. That's also from Tony
From
Carmine
Tony.
Salerno. Yes,
Hmm.
and I like his work. I haven't touched his cards for a while, but I really like his work. So this is healing. And the question for day 3 is, how can I use self-expression to heal inner wounds? So if you think about it, um, I'm going to let you. So let me read the. Oops, I forgot to take out the. I'm disorganized today. Sorry about that.
That's okay. My whole day's been like that. The
So it's
astrological weather right now is really rough. It's pretty rocky right now. So,
and I didn't sleep well last night.
mm,
So healing is the card. So creation is filled with a healing light of love. It is the light you can switch on anytime you wish. The message is, dearest one, I am an angel of healing. I come to you, for you are ready to heal. Close your eyes and feel my presence this very moment. Feel the light of the stars shining eternally bright inside your heart. You're much greater than you know. You are so much more than this physical existence, eternally one with the spirit of life, powerful beyond measure, for you hold the essence of creation within you. Know that the essence of life is love, and that love has the power to heal you. Be in touch with all you truly feel and unlock all that remains hidden in your heart. Take some time each day to write down your thoughts and feelings. Expressing yourself in this way will help activate your healing. Healing is a process, so be patient. At times, it may feel like things are getting worse. However, this is part of the healing process. As you start to release the many emotions you have stored inside, you may at times feel out of balance. Once again, be patient, for this is just part of the process. Trust, for a beautiful transformation is unfolding.
beautiful message.
So if we really, I know it's the word is catharsis. I have a problem saying
Catharsis or
yes,
cathartic, which
yes.
is like a transformative process that really shifts who you are. Yeah.
And I think a lot of time that happens when you write or when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
painting or when you're creating, when you're expressing something. It it
Yeah.
it really is healing in that sense because you you're connecting to that deeper sense of you and especially if you're doing automatic writing then you're not judging it, you're just kind of removing your physical self from the process, which allows for all that deeper innermost um, vulnerability to come through, and that is healing. So anytime you can find your way in creating that way, I think can help with the healing process.
Oh, absolutely. I think that self-expression can be immensely cathartic. Uh, there's a guy that I see on Reels all the time. He's so funny. He's British, but he sounds like an Aussie. His accent sounds more New Zealander or Aussie than UK. But he's a gardener and he's also a firefighter. So he's hyper masculine, and he saves people's lives and he puts out fires and stuff like that. But his passion and the way his form of self-expression is creativity is through his garden, and it's like sort of antithetical to who he presents as this hyper masculine guy, super heavily muscled and everything, but he like loves his plants so much. And I remember seeing a reel, and he says it's what he processes things when he gardens, and it's cathartic for him.
Right.
So catharsis can come through all kinds of self-expression, even something like you would say, gardening, really? Yeah, gardening, really.
Well, and if you think about it, he may be seeing horrible things, and the
Yes,
need to process it, he's turning into beauty, into flowers, into the garden, and
yes.
into life. So the devastation is being healed through the witnessing of something growing and giving life through the soil. So
Nurturing it, nurturing it.
exactly.
Yeah. What a
So
beautiful balance, way to find
exactly,
balance. And
exactly.
I think that self-expression does give you an opportunity to find balance. I really do.
And I think it's necessary also because anytime you kind of suppress everything, things need to boil out. I mean, and one day they're just going to explode. So if you can find, like you said, that way of balancing things from what you're experiencing every day, you keep your sanity, you keep yourself in flow, you keep yourself um, calm and patient, and you can be present. But if you're
Yes.
just, into that, feeding that horror or fueling that the devastation or whatever you're witnessing every day, instead of, balancing it with the beauty of the world, then
Yeah.
it can
It's like being in a
be,
pressure cooker.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like
exactly,
being in a pressure cooker. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Would you like to take us through the next card?
Sure. Is that the yes
So,
day?
yeah, so the question is, in what ways can self-expression feel playful and liberating?
So this is from our I Am a Manifester deck. And this was such a, oh man, this was an amazing deck to do. It beat us up because it was very dense. There was a lot. It took a lot of work and focus and it took us sometimes days to turn out a single card because of the depth of what we were doing. So this was a really fun one to do. All of these cards begin with the phrase for the purpose of manifesting my soul's desires. And then there's an insight or some information to share. And this card is called Yes Day. And it's about saying yes. So it says, for the purpose of manifesting my soul's desires, today I step out of my comfort zone and I say yes. Today is the day that I get to do something that I always wanted to do or was afraid to do. As part of my self exploration, meeting my potential, and opening up to receiving, I accept the challenge of experiencing something new. I take the leap into saying, yes, possibilities await me. So, this is about doing it playfully, stepping into your creative expression, doing something you've always wanted to do but were afraid to do, and jumping in with both feet just by saying yes. I think when I did the reading in the circle that we have, the group that we have on Facebook, I talked about Jim Carrey's movie Yes Man,
Yes, uh-huh. You
where
mentioned.
he was going to say yes to everything, every opportunity that came his way for 1 year. That was the premise of the movie. And it was actually based on a guy out of the UK, Daniel somebody, who was a writer and a blogger and a podcaster and a comedian. And he did it for 6 months.
Mm.
He said yes to every opportunity that came his way. And then he wrote a book about it. And then somebody found the book and based the movie on that. But yeah, how playful is that? And how brave is that?
It is brave, and also it takes you into higher vibration,
Yes.
because it's like, it becomes that ripple. If you come saying yes, then more opportunities show up, and you're being present for the opportunity. So it's almost like every opportunity takes you into a braver step. You get to take more courage as you step into the next opportunity. So, but it really moves you out of your comfort zone. It really moves you forward
Mm-hmm.
to a
Yeah, it's
space
hard
of
sometimes
expansion too.
to, yeah, I guess I think that would be an interesting challenge too. I don't know how many people would be brave enough to do it because boy, I was reading, I looked him up and I was reading some of the experiences he had after I did the reading. I thought, I'm gonna look this guy up. And so I read about him and he had some really strange experiences because of what he said, because he said yes.
Right,
But he said they were things he never would have ever done, ever even
right.
considered doing, and changed his point of view on so many things. It changed his lens, the lens that saw things through. It was really interesting.
Well, I think it could also bring you into a space of more compassion for the person. Let's say, you're doing I think there was a show on AGTV where or maybe I don't remember, but he was also doing like odd jobs and things like that, something that he was not familiar with. And
Mhm.
if you've never um, cleaned out a septic tank, it's not something that you want to do, but but
Mhm.
then you can, if you're put into the situation of doing it, you can get more appreciation for the person who actually does it for a job every single day, because
Yeah.
it's not an easy job to do. It can
What
be
was that called? Dirty
challenging.
Jobs?
Yeah, dirty.
Dirty
Yeah, something
Job
like
with
that. Yeah,
Mike somebody. The
yeah,
guy had a
yeah,
beautiful voice. He sounded like his voice sounded like a basso, opera singer voice. He had a beautiful voice.
yeah. So I think it like you say, it really can change your
His perception.
perceptions of and I think give value to the the person or and the job that they're doing, or to
Hmm.
their creative outlet or their creativity, and really understand. I think also deepen the understanding of behind the person, like what they're here to offer. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Or
it's
what
just
they're here to find a different way
yeah,
to express
exactly.
themselves in a
Right,
completely different way.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting. Was really that was a fun card. I had fun doing that. Reading.
So the next one is, how can I rely on intuition to guide my self-expression? And the card is from our Oracle of Crystal Gemstones and Rocks. And the card that came up is I Am Sapphire, and it says voicing a message of using your non-physical senses to transform you in wondrous ways. Use your clair senses to look clearly, to listen, to smell, to taste, to feel, to know all that is deep within. Move freely in, around, and through inner space. It will help you learn to trust your intuition, to listen to your higher voice. It will show you your many gifts. It will show you your truth. Move freely in, around, and through a new way to view all that exists. Your connection to all that is will transform you in wondrous ways. So this is a powerful, um, like tapping into your clair definitely connects you to that your higher self in that space of intuition. And
Hmm.
and like we just talked about, changing perception is when we expand our our inner vision, or when we're using our clairvoyance, we're tapping into unknown territories, or when we're really attuning to our clairsentience, which is the feeling and sensing. You become more like you're heightened to what you're experiencing. So that's a beautiful way to um, tapping into your clairsenses could really be a beautiful in the way that you become, in the way you're led to self-express. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people don't even realize what their forms of self-expression are until they get put into a situation where they get a hit from one of their clairs. And I've known people that I had no idea that I like to do that. And it just came to me, or somebody mentioned it. I sort of got this shiver and I thought, oh, I think I'll try that. And I'm totally in love with it. and they never had ever, I've met several people that never had ever thought of doing their specific form of self-expression, and then they sort of stumbled upon it because of a physical response from one of their clairs, and they thought, and they tried it, and now I know a couple of people who make money doing their form of self-expression that they never ever considered doing ever.
That's
So
that's
yeah,
kind of how I stumbled with fractal. A friend of mine mentioned the word fractal, and then I went to look at what fractal was, and I just got enamored, and I could they spoke to me like in a way that I never experienced before. And I know that all the images that I create, I feel that they're talking, they're alive, they're speaking to me, with me. So, and then I feel like I'm a channel through them. I become a
hmm,
conduit. Um, so
yeah. Well,
it's a beautiful process. Yeah.
it is, and that's you're absolutely right when you talk about how they speak to you, because that's how I got involved. Because you would send me images that you were working on, I'd say, "Oh my God," and there would be a whole story. The image, I was getting a whole story from the image, and that's how I got involved with working on cards with you because they would speak to me as well.
Well, and
And
that's how the crystal deck became the crystal deck, because I sent you
yeah,
the images and then you had conversations with them. So,
yeah. But Jean Ann is like that too. She's the one who said to us, she's one of the curators of our decks. She has all the decks and she loves them. And she said one time, and I never really thought about it until she said it, but it was absolutely true. She said, I never see the same card twice, even though I've worked with the deck many, many times. And I've been through all the cards in this deck. I never see the same card twice because she sees what she needs to see at the time, and it's helped her with her self-expression too. So yeah, fractals are a really amazing thing, and you never would have done anything with them if you hadn't have been exposed to them. You never thought it'd become a major form of self-expression for you. Now
right.
you're a graphic artist because of it.
All right. So the next one is yours, which is the question is in what ways does creativity expand my self-expression?
Okay, this is from our consciousness deck. I love this image. Look at that. It's like you're looking right into the universe and it's looking right back. The consciousness deck, all of our decks start with a phrase. And this one is, I'm grateful for, and then there's the message. So, divine frequencies. I'm grateful for the clear pathways of communication with Source. As my pineal gland is activated, every cell of my being expands and rejoices in divine frequencies. As a multidimensional being, I'm reminded of and celebrate my unlimited potential. So the message from this card is about connecting. Again, we were talking earlier about connecting with your intuition and your clairs and your right brain and the creativity that takes you right up to divine frequencies and source in order to find ways of self-expression and ways of being.
I just love this card too. I
I do too. I
can
love
feel
the
the
image.
activation.
Oh yeah. And every time I see this card, I never noticed. There's eyes right here.
Uh,
I mean, there's actual eyes. You can see the sclera, you can see the pupil, you can see the irises. And I went, oh my God, how did I miss that? But it depends on how you're viewing it, which way you're seeing it. But I never noticed there were two eyes right there.
uh,
I always saw this as a mouth and this is a nose, but I missed the eyes. Yeah, so this is again, you never see the same card twice. And the places where the cheeks are look like galaxies, spiral galaxies.
so I think that the importance here is, become creating those clear pathways of communication with source,
Hmm.
becoming that conduit, and that's through stillness, that's through deepening your listening skills and really tapping into that inner wisdom and into your heart space and letting your soul speak. And so much is revealed when you're using that creative expression, because sometimes we have no recollection of what message came through. It's kind of like, did I write this? Sometimes a lot of times I go back because I wake up in the middle of the night often, and I will put a note in my note, or the reminders or whatever, and I'm just talking in my half sleep, and then I'm like, I go back, and sometimes it it makes no sense because it's my keyboard got switched to my French keyboard, so
Mhm.
that's disappointing because I can't remember the message. But a lot of times it's like, did I write this? So you, when you really feel that being that open channel, it's amazing what can come through.
It is. It absolutely is.
So the last card is in the question, this seven is from our I am, from my I am deck, which is the first deck that
Right.
I created.
This is
And
Carol's very first deck. I love this deck. I use it every day.
thank you, Rosie. And the question is, in what ways does self-expression connect me to my truth? And the card is I am creative, and its message is my creativity feeds my soul and is an expression of who I am. So it really sums it up truthfully, is that if you can live from that place of 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 mindfulness, of creativity, of nurturance, um, and allowing, I think a lot of it is about allowing yourself to explore that territory, and to and it doesn't have to be shared necessarily with a lot of people. You just, the first step is to do it for you, to just let it out, and allowing, giving yourself permission is important. I give myself permission.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because that leads into judgment. Allow, don't judge, just allow, just allow. A lot of
And
people don't express themselves the way they would like to because they're afraid of being judged, or they judge themselves harshly. They don't allow. So I think that's perfect, perfect encouragement, Carole. Just allow yourself.
and can't wait to see what your whoever is listening, what you're going to be creating from that space, as you find your voice, because you're needed. Your gifts and talents are needed in the world, and they create ripples. They create ripples of,
Oh,
once you allow yourself, you also give permission to the next person to do just that as well. So
mhm.
you indirectly you can become an inspiration for the next person, because um, they know you from, they can see your progression, they can see your evolution, and they can see that once you're allowed, they can see the transformation.
Absolutely.
So that's it for our reading this month. We do have our group that uh, we put in a lot of information in, and then the spreads every week. So I can't believe the year is almost getting to a close. So we've done the Step into Your Authentic Self in 2025. So that's like 52 weeks soon to be over. And stay tuned for the book to come. I'm creating a book to kind of summarize the 52 lessons. So hopefully that'll be published in 2026. And so you're welcome to join our Facebook group to get all the questions, the prompts, all the related posts to each of the topic every week that we create. And it's all to really help you grow and evolve, and meet you where you are, and allow for that expansion to happen. And every Sunday we offer a new topic. So What's the topic for coming up? Do you remember?
The one that's coming up this coming week is gratitude.
Okay.
The one we're doing right now is, what are we doing right now? Support.
Yes, yes,
We're doing
support.
support right now, and then
Yeah,
the next one will be gratitude. And was looking at the one after that that takes us, but I don't remember because I got involved
yeah.
in the questions and the cards. So,
Right. So yeah, so we're working towards finishing up the year, and not sure what we're going to do for next year, but stay tuned.
yeah, stay tuned. Carole is immensely and endlessly and eternally and infinitely creative. So something she will come up with an amazing idea, or mostly ideas, more than one, because she's got a million of them. She's an idea machine. So whatever comes up in 2026 will be wonderful, and it will be different because Carole doesn't like to do the same thing over and over again, which is one of her beautiful things about her, one of the many beautiful things about her. She's got that creative mind that just comes up with endless ways of growing and expanding and ways to create tools to help people who are interested do their own growth and expansion. So yeah, I'm excited about 2026. We'll see what it holds. It's a
Okay.
1 year.
Yeah.
2026 is a 1 year.
Oh, it is. Yes.
It's a 1 year. And
Yes.
it's with the zero because it's 2026 is a 10, and then you reduce that to a one, but it's a 10 is one with a zero.
Uh-huh.
And zeros are not numbers, they're placeholders. They hold a space for something to come in. So they're empty, waiting to be filled. So they're full of potentiality and possibility. So it's going to be a big year of new beginnings, energetically, numerologically.
So kind of, I'm going to give a little hint to the direction that I like to take for
Oh,
2026,
okay.
which is more about body attunement, body embodiment. And so I've been working on a couple of decks and a few books, and I really want people to understand, how our body is really a messenger. So it's more about the connecting to that space. And so I'm also working with, I did the stomach meridian, working along the stomach meridian. So I'm wanting to also create all the other meridians, um, body mind connection. So it's all about your your connection with your body, your physical vessel. So I think that's kind of the direction that I'm guided to take for this coming year. So
That's exciting.
your body as
That's
the
very
oracle.
exciting. Yeah,
So and then we
that's
have
amazing.
spreads that you can they can also be used for meditation or for journaling. So if you're not a card advocate, you can use those to self discovery and exploration. It's not really about being self-aware, because once you obtain that self-awareness, you can create shifts. You can change. You can transform. So it's
Exactly.
about creating that space for yourself. So and
Absolutely.
we have the Intuitive Lounge, which is every third Sunday of every month, and this is for more of a looking to help you with your intuitive skills and deepening them, and so we share a spread, and we keep it very close knit so that we can have an exchange. And this month we're going to be in our Patreon community. We're going to be exploring abundance in its many forms. So we have a lot of activities that you can explore with. And if you need to reach us for anything in private sessions, readings, and things like that, this is our emails. So thank you, Rosie, for being here with me today for doing this
Thank
monthly
you.
reading. I
Thank you for
appreciate you.
including me. I appreciate you too. Thank you for including me.
I appreciate your wisdom and the experiences that you share. So thank you.
Right back to you.
Oops. We're going to close out. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.